Facebook is perhaps the most widespread social media used in Australia. Its wide use and its great potential benefits demands the question from an educational perspective: is Facebook a positive force in the classroom? Well, let's have a look at what the literature says. First, let's start with the good stuff that's coming out of the research. Facebook as a learning management system is inexpensive and allows any teacher to create a class and enroll students. Just like an expensive commercial LMS, Facebook can be used to make announcements, share multimedia resources, organize weekly tutorial sessions, and initiate online discussions. With LMSs, learning is a lot more active than passive, as students play a more vital role in their learning. For example, it is the student's responsibility to check the Facebook page regularly. A study done by Wang and others suggests that using Facebook as an LMS could increase student enrollment and participation, as it's seen as engaging. This study showed an improvement in teacher-student relations as well as relationships between students. An increase in student satisfaction and motivation was also noted in the study. Also, using Facebook as an LMS allows teachers and students to become partners in learning via the discussion feature, making students feel they have something of value to contribute. In another study done by Corral and others, a Facebook group proved to improve student writing abilities. This study focused on how learning happens in social contexts via meanings of sharing, participation, collaboration, interaction, and communication, describing learning as social participation. Corral and others also state that the use of online groups can possibly encourage reflection. For example, students will have to self-reflect on their responses, making sure they are relevant and appropriate. Using Facebook as an LMS also allows students who are shy to participate in class learning in a way that is perhaps less daunting via online discussions. Or, shy and often passive students are more likely to participate and interact with their peers via online discussions, finding them less daunting. Through Facebook, students can also provide assistance and support to one another via words of encouragement and the sharing of their understanding. By having this social support, students can feel relieved from academic pressure and thus be able to perform better. But it's also important to look at the downsides of Facebook use as well, because there are a bunch of concerns as educators we need to look out for if we use this tool effectively. While using Facebook in secondary schools provides many advantages for educational purposes, there are also some constraints that need to be considered. Firstly is privacy. It could be argued that Facebook fails to create a safe environment for students. According to Wang, Wo, Kwek, Yang, and Liu, Facebook safety and privacy issues pose a serious concern in relation to social learning environments. Students reported that they were worried that their teachers could access their personal information and social lives. Students were also concerned that their peers could reveal their academic performances and results, resulting in students feeling uncomfortable in utilizing Facebook for these educational purposes. Thus, it is essential that educators create a consensus with students regarding privacy protection prior to using the social network as an educational tool. Furthermore, according to O'Bannon, Beard, and Britt, students report that using Facebook as a social learning tool to be a distractor, particularly in relation to the rate of posting. Students found that the pace of posts to be too fast, which caused them to be frustrated and overwhelmed, resulting in less engagement. Additionally, many studies reveal that students just have a general negative approach towards using Facebook in relation to educational purposes. Why? According to Sanchez, Cortil, and Javed, students report that despite the rising use of technologies in their daily lives, they prefer to be educated through traditional learning approaches. Students perceive Facebook as a way of communicating with friends and not as an educational tool, and would rather keep their academic and social lives separate. Lastly, Facebook is commonly used for social purposes, which incites individuals to use abbreviations and thus be careless with their grammar. According to Corral, Kokek, and Kakir, students commonly make grammatical errors in written language when using social network sites for educational purposes. Studies demonstrate that students excessively use foreign expressions and make contractions in words and phrases, which contributes to language deterioration and spelling errors. So, in summary, Facebook has many advantages and disadvantages that need to be considered when using the platform for educational purposes. It has advantages as a cheap learning management system in promoting communication and engagement and social support. There are, however, also concerns such as issues of privacy, distraction, and boundaries. It also has a mixed effect on language use that needs to be properly looked after. So Facebook can be said to be a positive force, but before teachers and educators use it in the classroom, they need to be aware of its limitations to give kids a good educational experience.